Beloved ones, do not imitate the evil, but the good. The one who is doing good is of Elohim, but he who is doing evil has not seen Elohim. 3 John 1:11.
Shalom, family. We've been going back and forth on the subject of this video for a few weeks. We felt like Yahuwah wanted us to do it, but we could not get the information to come together, and it seemed that it wouldn't be ready to put out in time. Then it would appear that with a subject such as this, believers should know what to do or not do. But after doing much research and looking through multiple sources, we see why Yahuwah wants us to put this information out. It was made very clear to us that many believers don't know enough about Halloween or church fall festivals, which is what some church building organizations have started as an alternative for Halloween. This may not be a video for you because you leave all that stuff alone, but maybe you know someone who celebrates Halloween and or Christian alternative church fall festivals. Our hope is that this will help anyone who might need to be made aware of celebrating this day, and help anyone questioning or who have had odd or funny feelings about participating in any way in this wicked holiday. Yahuwah has given believers discernment to know right from wrong, good from evil. So please keep that in mind, and let's begin.
The origins of Halloween. Halloween, a holiday celebrated each year on October 31st, originated with the ancient Celtic, Irish festival Samhain, known as the Celtic New Year, in Irish meaning summer's end. It was a time that marked the end of the harvest and the start of a new year, death, and rebirth. It was also a time that was believed to be for evil spirits to roam the earth freely and torment, harm, or do mischievous things to those who were living. In order to appease the deities, people would burn bonfires where animal sacrifices took place and food offerings were given. They would use the skin and heads of the animals to ward off ghosts and other malicious spirits. Old English and Ireland, focusing on the dead wandering amongst the living, set out gifts of food to satisfy the hungry spirits, and some people dressed in creepy costumes to go begging for treats. It was also believed that dressing up in the costumes was a way that people could hide amongst the evil spirits so that they wouldn't be harmed. They would also carve turnips to ward off wandering spirits. So how did we go from Samhain to Halloween? The Romans, Christians, conquered the Celtics and took with them their culture and festivals. The Christian Pope was attempting to replace pagan or heathen holidays like Samhain with their own religious holidays, Feralia, a day to honor the dead, and Romana, a celebration of harvest. Despite the Christian efforts, many of the pagan customs persisted. In the 8th century, Pope Gregory III designated November 1st, All Saints' Day, as a time to honor all saints and martyrs. It was also called All Hallows' Day. November 2nd was designated as All Souls' Day, where the poor would walk from village to village begging for soul cakes, given in exchange for prayers for the donator's departed loved ones. Soon, All Saints' Day incorporated some of the traditions and customs of Samhain mixed with All Souls' Day. The evening before All Hallows' Day was known as All Hallows' Eve, and later became known as Halloween, a shortened version. What the Christians did was try to rename the pagan or heathen festival with what they said was a Christian observance, but all they did was change the name while the activity stayed the same. Research has shown that the merge of the festival and observance was a result of making Christianity more palatable or acceptable for the Celtics they wanted to convert to Christianity.
In the 19th century, there was a change from adults going from place to place to children going and asking for food or money in exchange for songs, poems, or jokes. When the Irish and Scottish immigrated to America, they brought with them their wicked tradition of Halloween, where it was secularized by American culture. The elements of Samhain, now mixed with the Christians' All Saints/Souls Day, gave America the day Halloween, October 31st, a day to wear costumes, have parties, and going house to house to trick or treat. Now that we have the backstory about Halloween out of the way, let's discuss why no believer should celebrate Halloween. You may have heard people say when referring to Halloween that it is just harmless fun, or it's for the kids, or it's not a big deal, or any other justifiable reason to celebrate it. This might seem okay if it was the thinking of someone who was of the world and didn't follow scripture. The origin of Halloween that we summarized a moment ago should alert any believer in the Most High Yah that it is rooted in evil. Whether people choose to ignore the gruesome and scary parts of the holiday, it is still something we should not participate in because it is a worldly thing, and He has called His people to be separated from the world and to Him. Jeremiah 10:2. Thus says Yahuwah, do not learn the way of the Gentiles, and do not be frightened by the signs of the Shamaim, for the Gentiles are frightened by them. Leviticus 20:26. And you shall be Kodesh to me, for I, Yahuwah, am Kodesh, and have separated you from the peoples to be mine.
Celebrating Halloween is done in the same way as Samhain. People dress in costumes and people go house to house asking for treats. There's also the creepy and evil element that many choose to include in this day. You see people decorating with witches, ghosts, bats, black cats, big spiders, and so on. It is not so harmless when you look at it the right way. Participating, whether by dressing in costumes, having parties, or handing out candy, may be opening a person up to the evil of this wicked day. When you play with evil, you open the door to evil, even if it looks harmless. Yahuwah tells us that He doesn't want us getting into the things of or conforming to the world. Revelations 18:4 says, And I heard another voice from the Shamaim saying, Come out of her, my people, lest you share in her sins, and lest you receive of her plagues. Romans 12:1-3. I call upon you, therefore, brothers, through the compassion of Elohim, to present your bodies a living offering, Kodesh, well-pleasing to Elohim, your reasonable worship. And do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, so that you prove what is that good and well-pleasing and perfect desire of Elohim. For I say, through the favor which has been given to me, to everyone who is among you, not to think more highly than he should think, but to think soberly, as Elohim has given to each a measure of belief. Halloween is full of darkness, and we are not to partake of the things of darkness. We are to be like the Most High Yahuwah. And this is the message which we have heard from Him and announced to you, that Elohim is light, and in Him is no darkness at all. If we say that we have fellowship with Him and walk in darkness, we lie and are not doing the truth. 1 John 1:5-6.
From Halloween to church fall festivals. There may be some out there who say, we know Halloween is evil and don't participate in it. That is great. But there are believers that say, well, we won't celebrate Halloween, but we'll celebrate at the church's fall festival. This is where you really have to use discernment. The church's fall festivals are usually celebrated on or closely around October 31st. They usually allow and or encourage people to get dressed up. Sometimes they carve pumpkins and they have children go trunk or treating or give them treats. Fall festivals are just another way to celebrate Halloween under the guise of a different name. They have taken something wicked, changed the name, and made it look like something good, but it is still rooted in evil. It was never a day ordained by Yahuwah as something we should celebrate. All that Yahuwah has called us to observe is written in His Word. We are not to take something that is evil and of this world and try to make it good. What is being done in today's time is the intertwining of the sacred with the secular. We should not be celebrating Halloween or the alternative to it, i.e. fall festivals. You are not able to drink the cup of the Athan and the cup of demons. You are not able to partake of the table of the Athan and of the table of demons. 1 Corinthians 10:21. Woe to those who call evil good and good evil, who put darkness for light and light for darkness, who put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Isaiah 5:20.
Here are some scripture that we want you to consider if you're still unsure whether believers should participate or celebrate Halloween or its alternative church fall festivals. Ephesians 5:15 through 17. See then that you walk exactly, not as unwise, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are wicked. So then, do not be foolish, but understand what the desire of Yahuwah is. Do not scorn or reject gifts of prophecy or prophecies, spoken revelations, words of instruction or exhortation or warning. But test all things carefully so you can recognize what is good. Hold firmly to that which is good. Abstain from every form of evil. Withdraw and keep away from it. Now, may the Elohim of peace himself sanctify you through and through. That is, separate you from profane and vulgar things, make you pure and whole and undamaged, consecrated to him, set apart for his purpose. And may your spirit and soul and body be kept complete and be found blameless at the coming of our Athan, Yahusha HaMashiach. 1 Thessalonians 5:20 through 22, Amplified Version.
In conclusion, we have laid out the research on the history of Halloween, which is a mixture of the Celtic, Irish, festival activities and practices of Samhain and the celebration of the dead, saints, and martyrs. It is a holiday rooted in paganism and something we as believers should not partake in. Some who say that they are followers of the Most High acknowledge that Halloween is evil and instead have decided as an alternative to celebrate church fall festivals as a safe replacement. The problem with this is the activities associated with church fall festivals are mostly the same activities done in the celebration of Halloween. It is the same thing except the ghost, ghouls, and evident darkness is usually left out. Whether those at the church know the root of these things or not doesn't change that this is still wickedness. To some, it may seem like something that is innocent, but it is still rooted in the same evil and darkness, and it is celebrated on or around the same wicked day. It is being like the world instead of separating from it, like the word tells us to do. Here are some questions to ponder.
Is the body of Mashiach supposed to mirror the world and what they do? Should the body of Mashiach be allowing the secular world practices to be a part of their lives? Does Yahuwah mind if we take something that is rooted in evil, change the name and practices to something that looks good or innocent, and then partake of it? Does Yahuwah need us to participate in wickedness in order to reach people?
We would like to end this video with this. 2 Corinthians 6:17-18. Therefore, come out from among them and be separate, says Yahuwah, and do not touch what is unclean, and I shall receive you. And I shall be a father to you, and you shall be sons and daughters to me, says Yahuwah El Shaddai. Thanks for watching. We do hope this video has been helpful to you. We ask that you please like this video, share it, and subscribe to our channel, as this helps us to reach more people for Yah.
May Yah baruch you and keep you. May he make his face shine on you and be gracious to you. May Yah turn his face towards you and give you peace. We love you and are praying for you. Until next time, family.
Shalom.